Good morning, Realty Executives.
Good morning.
Awesome. Everybody's awake. I love it. Okay, we have a lunch and learn prepared for you guys. Some really good information. I'm excited about both speakers, but particularly about Lisa, because the tool she's going to present is something that I've been working with her for the last month.
Yes.
About the last month. I understand parts of it. I work with her technical department for a little bit, but you know, I can't wait for you guys to look at it. So we're gonna have, first we're gonna have Scott come over and speak to us from
America West.
America West.
Here. Yeah. No, America West is an amazing NHD company. I've known them for a long time. I've known Scott. I've known Sherry back in the day. We go way back as well too. She's the regional manager here for America West. And also Felix, I know Felix very well too, and he does the Long Beach area and the surrounding area here as well too. So they were kind enough to bring lunch to all of you guys here today, and they're going to explain to you guys about their NHD company, America West, and how they can benefit your clients. So Scott, Sherry, Felix, why don't you guys come on up and tell them a little bit about your company.
Test, 1, 2. I typically don't need one of these because I'm a New Yorker, I'm loud, but I'll use it. Is that how? Is that okay? Keep you guys awake? All right, I'm going to start off. First of all, this is Felix, this is Sherry, I'm Scott. Nice to meet you. We've been in this industry.
For the camera.
Sherry and I have been in this industry for almost 20 years. I mean, we are long-term NHD folks. We worked together at First American. We created their NHD products there, and then we decided to create our own company and our own brand. And so Felix is our account manager for part of LA County, kind of southern LA County, Long Beach, Lakewood, so we're certainly glad to have him. But I like starting off with a new audience with a simple question, because I know when you guys get up in the morning, like, first thought is not, NHD reports. I wonder how that's going to impact my life today. Right? No? No?
I'm kind of a newbie here, so.
Yeah, do you know what an NHD report is? We'll tell you. How about you guys that aren't newbies, right? First thing, NHD
I know ARV
reports.
is.
How about you wake up first thing in the morning and you think, boy, I wonder if I'm going to get an escrow closed today. Would that be on your mind?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every morning.
Right? And yet NHD reports are required, right, to close escrow, right? So what would be important to you in an NHD provider, right? What would be important?
To get it out right away. Efficient, yeah.
Quick, all right, so quick, right?
Professional.
Professional, right, good service.
Make sure that the property is not in a flood zone.
So accurate reports, like, we can't make sure the property is or not in any zone, and I'll talk about that in a second, but I think accuracy would be good, right?
Yes.
So that the information on the report is correct, right? Price, good price?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like Carson, right? Carson had that oil or issue over in the, or gas leak. What was it?
It's a leak.
The leak?
It's
Yeah.
a leak.
So I know there's an area with red circle, you know, that we have to be aware of it.
Carson and Signal Hill.
Signal Hill too? Yeah.
There's a few, so that's an environmental concern. So
Oh, okay.
what would you order to ensure you got environmental information on your NHD report? Right, there's standard reports, which are just the state NHDs, the local NHDs, and the tax. Premium reports, which more companies call their premium reports, include the environmental data, right? So if you got environmental concerns, you want to order the premium report, right? What we sell ours for $99.95, an unbelievable price.
Wow.
Right? We sell our standard for $79.95. And our reports, and I always say as good, they're as good as any on the market, because it's all public data, right? If your NHD company's doing their homework, then you're online with FEMA and the state of California and the federal government, and you get all the data that's available to put into the reports, correct? So, absolutely, accuracy, speed, all right, we say we average 2 hours, typically it's an hour or less for a report. If your escrow wants a rush, we can do it in minutes, right? Right. We do have a GIS person look at each and every report before they go out. So we won't send out an instantaneous report. We could, but we don't, because I want an expert looking at every report to make sure it's accurate. We've never had a claim against an accuracy issue on our product. Right? So, by the way, I did bring the layers for this area, right, for Lakewood, right? So you can pass this around. FEMA flood zone, you don't have a lot of issues with FEMA flood zone in Lakewood. Very small percentage of the properties here, the blue dots you see, and some of the channels. Very small percentage of properties in Lakewood are going to be impacted by the flood zone. I don't think it's here. How about dam inundation? Look at the dam inundation zone for this area. It's about almost 3/4 of the city.
We only have water, right?
Right, and this is, what does this tell you? This tells you that we are downstream here of a lot of water, right? It's flowing this way. If a wall were to break, this is where the water would go, all right? So you can pass this one around too. All right, so that's one area that will impact the city that you guys are operating in. So what's the impact to a real estate transaction if the property's in the FEMA flood zone, all right? Or in the dam inundation zone?
Gotta get extra insurance for it?
Correct. Think of it from an insurance perspective, all right? And if you have a client that's gonna need a mortgage, they're gonna need a property casualty policy, right? Send them to their P&C company and say, hey, check and find out what your premiums are gonna be early on in the process. And if you know they're in the dam inundation zone, send them to the P&C company. By the way, you asked before about, make sure my property's not in a flood zone, right? On our website, we have free flood zone determinations. You click on it, you put in your email address, the property address will tell you if the property's in a flood zone or not. Because with all the rain we got last winter, you got a lot of clients, especially people moving in from out of state or out of the city area. They want to make sure their property's not in a flood zone because they know it's going to cost more for insurance. So we can help you navigate those properties. All right, last one I'm going to show you, because this is the last one that really affects this city a lot, is what we call liquefaction. All right, look at this. It's the green shade. And you can pass this around. Most of the city is in what we call liquefaction. Liquefaction, it basically means that the properties in Lakewood, this is a flat area, first of all, right? And the properties were built on compacted soils, not bedrock, right? And so what is liquefaction?
Lose ground.
Well, it's where a solid substance takes the form of a liquid due to vibration. So we're sitting on soils and the earth starts shaking, right? And if the soil wasn't compacted properly, it can act more like a liquid than a solid, which means it might not hold the foundation above it. So because we live in a lot of liquefaction areas, the construction codes are stricter. So if you're dealing with just a resale property, you're not going to have an issue with liquefaction. But here's the one, if you're dealing with a client that's buying vacant land and wants to build on it, all right, it's going to cost more money because the pad's got to be bigger, thicker, the structure's got to be safer. The city knows that these properties are in liquefaction. A more common one, though, would be you're shopping with a buyer and they're looking for a nice 3-2 with a pool, right? That's a pretty common request in SoCal, right? Yeah. And so you find a good 3-2, but no pool, but it's got a nice piece of property, and they're thinking, okay, I'll put the pool in. If it's in the liquefaction zone, again, they'll be able to buy the property, they'll be able to build the pool, but it's gonna cost them more money. Pool's gotta be structurally sound, and the city knows it, so when they go to get their permits, the city's gonna know it's in liquefaction, and they're gonna make sure that the engineering is done to code. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's kind of how these NHD reports can impact your transactions. And as a matter of fact, we do a great 1-hour class and we go through every one of the layers, we go through all the tax information, we go through all the environmental information, all right? So the environmental data that was brought up is dealing with leaking underground storage tanks and issues dealing with government regulated spills, right? And so if you get our premium report, it'll tell you a property's proximity on a radius map to any of these potential environmental issues, which means you supply it to your client and to any buyer, and the buyer signs the report that they acknowledge receipt. They can't come back to you and say, hey, that leak in Signal Hill, you should have told me about it. Well, I actually did. Look at the report you signed. All right, we always say more is better in the NHD world. Premium reports are better. More information, more disclosures, more protection for you. Right? So with that, you have us here, we're experts, right? And we're new to you guys, but we're not new to this industry, so while you have us here, do you have any questions on anything dealing with hazards, local, city, state level, all right?
Mention a little bit about what's in our tax report, because that's been a concern with some escrows.
So our tax report is a comprehensive tax report, and we actually give you the prior year's tax roll from the county treasury's office, right? So you're having an open house, besides price, the next two questions are what are the taxes, where are the schools, basically, right? And so we'll give you the prior year's tax roll in our product. We'll tell you if it's in Melrose or 1915 bond, but we'll also give you the complete prior year's tax roll. It's not current year, but year over year, taxes don't change a significant amount, so it's a pretty good estimate of what their tax budget's gonna be. And it includes the 1 or 2 supplemental tax payments depending on the time of year when escrow closes, right?
And PACE and HERO touch on that.
Also has PACE and HERO information. It tells you if the property is subject to PACE HERO. Now, does everybody know what PACE HERO programs are. These are, one's a government program, one's a non-government program, dealing with providing tax credits for home buyers that install energy efficient systems, like solar, like wind, like putting a windmill on your property, you can get a tax break from the government. All right, but the property also has a lien, like in some of the cases, if you put solar panels on the roof, all right, there could be a construction lien on that property because of the fact that they installed the solar panels. So this will tell you if the property is in PACE Hero or subject to the PACE Hero tax credits.
And it might be, it's stated, it's called out a little bit differently in every city as well. And it's also in your tax report, or I'm sorry, in your title report under exceptions in the prelim.
Correct.
So
there's,
it doesn't maybe just say PACE or here, you got to look for something that's a little odd, that could be it.
but our report is actually a page that says PACE Hero, is this property subject to PACE Hero? And there's a little checkbox so you know it is, all right? And then you could look for if you know it's subject to PACE Hero, then you could go to your title reports and see exactly what the issue is. Is there a lien on the property? So it's kind of a good heads up. Also, you know, we're more than just an NHD company, we're a data company. We provide a lot of data. You know, we talked about schools before. Well, we do free demographic profiles with our reports. So if you want information on the property's proximity to all the public and private schools, neighborhood information, census information, private companies choose to do this, but they can't because the RESPA laws got stricter, right? We do it for absolutely free. Just check a box, you get the demographic profile with your NHD report, all right? You can hand it out to clients. Yes, sir.
On different counties on the tax rate, I know that, you know, Riverside and San Bernardino, in different sections, they have different tax rates. Would we be able to see it in our report, or can we request it when we order the report?
You'll absolutely see it. You'll have the specific tax roll on that individual property from that county treasury office. Absolutely. Great question.
We also provide the leads.
Oh, so we also, this is one thing where you can work with Felix day in and day out. So we get the fact that people are trying to generate business. Even though it's a good economy, it's still a tough economy because a lot of agents entered the fray, right? So there's more people out there competing for the same listings, and inventory is still tight. Fair statement, right? Plenty of buyers, but not enough houses. So we have a master subscription to a company called Rebo Gateway. You've probably heard of them, right? We can farm data points. You tell us the zip code you're operating in. We'll give you an order form and just says, here's all the information you're looking for. It really dovetails into what Lisa's going to talk to you about too. But we're all trying to help you guys generate listings, and we have the data to help you do it. Okay, you just have to contact Felix. As a matter of fact, he'll take your cards. He'll send you our order form. We actually have a simple order form you can fill out and use. One final piece too is if you order our premium report, we provide a free build fax permit report with our premium product. So it's all the online permits. It goes back to about the mid-70s. So it'll capture most of the houses, if not all, in Lakewood. So if you think you have a permitting issue on a property, you can just simply order our premium report, say I want the build fax report, it comes with it. It'll list all the permits or the permitting issues issued to that property, okay? So here's I'll end this with the helpful tip of the day for all you agents out there. If you get a new listing, all right, which this is what will typically happen. You get a new listing, and during the poor economy, families consolidated, and you walk the property, it's got a detached garage, which is kind of common around here. You open up the garage expecting to see a lawnmower, and you see kind of a hybrid 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in there, right? So first thing you do is you ask the owner, is this permitted, okay? Because the good news is if that bed and bath are permitted, it's an extra bed and bath. You can mark it as more square footage. But if it's not permitted, what should you never, ever, ever do? Never yourself go down to the city and ask them, because you just alerted the city to a potential permitting problem on the property you're representing. Your client will not be happy. Use a third party, right? Figure it out somehow, but never, ever go down to the city and ask them about a property you're representing. Right? So with that,
Let me close with one more thing.
the closer. I got
A little
number one
shout out
closer in the
here.
industry right here, man.
What makes us different? Why is America West different than everybody else? Well, I can talk from my previous experience in my life with my prior company. Service, you said, was number one, right? Scott is an expert witness in the field. You can be out in the field, and I get phone calls like this all the time. I'm with a client. Is such and such going on? Is this in a flood zone? Is there an oil well at this property? You don't have to wait to go through the phone calls, the emails. You can call me directly, you can call Scott directly, you can call Felix directly, and you can get the answer. So to me, that's really huge. What else is a little bit different? We've consolidated our report. You don't have this 45-page, 60 pages in some cases report. He spent about a year and a half with our attorney going through consolidating the report, taking out the redundancies and extra legalese. So easy for your client to read, easy for you to read, so you don't have to be intimidated.
Talk about the client in Huntington Beach that didn't want a property in a flood zone, what we did for them. Pulling the actual, giving them the map so they could follow around the city.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
actually you did
we
that
had a
for
client,
me.
so Sherry had a client in Huntington Beach, so this is where we go above and beyond, right? She had a client in Huntington Beach that she's worked with for years, and just called her up and said, look, I have this out-of-state client, and for whatever reason, they said, I'm not looking at a property in a flood zone, so how do I do this, right? Because you literally have to put every property you're looking at into our, website and get the reply back, and I mean, you're trying to show them whatever properties you can. So we literally pulled the radius map of the neighborhood where she's shopping and drilled into it and put the flood zone on the street map so she could see which addresses were in the flood zone and which weren't, made a nice clear copy for her, hand delivered it, so when she was out showing properties the next day, she could avoid the ones in the flood zone because the client said, I'm not gonna buy a property in the flood zone. So we will literally go to that length to help you guys with your transactions, and it's quid pro quo with us. If we help you, we hope you order your report from us. That's the way we operate.
You're the best rep right here.
Oh, he's the best.
I'm doing the closure.
He's the closer.
Very easy. If you need an NHD report, trust me guys, it's super easy. I will do it by myself if I have to. Sometimes people request a standard, we can do it environmental, and that's not a problem. Just send me an email or UTC and say, hey, this is contact Felix, this is his email address. We just need the property address. That's all we need, and we do the rest for you. It's super easy, not a problem. I'm here, I'm very reachable. Even Lisa, thank you so much again for everything, but she knows where to find me, I know where to find you. So if it's any emergency or any problem, just contact us all the time. Like I said, it's super easy, send me an email, property address, and I got you guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity, yes.
I have one last question.
Yeah.
Can you do like a follow-up session about Rebo Gateway? Because I had a lot of the agents, I don't think they understand. what
Great
that
question.
is.
We have I can do a 1 hour session on how to use Rebo Gateway and what all the data points are and what they mean, by the way, so you have a good idea of what you're farming. Because when you look at the lists online, sometimes you don't even know what that equates to property-wise. We also go through all the information in our demos. We go through all the information in our Bill Fast Permit report. So all the stuff that we can give you for free, probably take about 45 minutes. I can come back, roll you through a PowerPoint, give you the deck, the order forms, and we can go from there. So Felix can schedule that for you. So great question.
Perfect.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. And by the way, you got a great lady right over here too, by the way. Your title lady is top notch.
She trained me when I came on board many, many years
She's
ago.
top notch.
All right, guys, give me
Thank you so much.
Thank you, you guys.
Guys, thank you for having me. It's great to see you.
All right.